Welcome to the Honks Podcast, where every time a honk closes a window, it opens a door. My name's Joe Little. Sitting to my right here is Lamar Costin. How are you today, Lamar?
What's up, dude? All right, dude.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
I'm doing pretty good, too.
I'm doing all right.
Got a little sunshine going.
Yeah, sun's shining.
Peeking out through the door there.
Welcome to Portland, Oregon, 2021. It feels like summer.
A little bit.
Feels like summer.
It feels a little bit like summer.
Yeah. We were just standing outside in T-shirts.
T-shirts, I tell you.
Yeah. Might have gotten a little bit of a chill, but...
A little bit.
Yeah.
I was chill. Were you chill?
I was pretty chill.
Are you chill, bro?
I was pretty chill. I think I'm pretty chill, bro.
You got a problem, man?
Say something disrespectful?
Say something about my mom?
Did you say something disrespectful?
Are you chill, bro?
You ever wanted to do that? Just walk up to somebody in a Walmart and be like, hey, man, did you say something disrespectful?
Did you?
Somebody that said nothing to you. Hey, did you say something disrespectful? No? Okay, good.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. I was just wondering.
That's what I thought.
I was just wondering if you did that.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
I'm always wondering that.
That's why I asked you the question in the first place, bro.
You got a problem, bro? I'm generally always asking myself if people around me are talking shit.
Yeah.
Did you say something disrespectful to me, man?
I always wonder if the people around me like know my mom, A, and 2 are saying something negative about my mom.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
In which
know
case
your mom,
we're going to have a problem.
Are we going to have a problem, man?
We're going to have a problem. That'd be another great thing to ask strangers on the street.
Yeah.
Are we going to have a problem, man?
Hey, do you want to have a problem with me?
Hey, did you want to try and have a problem with me right now?
Do you want to start something with me, man?
I was hoping that maybe you wanted to start something with me right now, man.
Like a band or some kind of project?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a positive thing. You never know.
Yeah. It's all in the way you interpret it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I'm excited about this episode. We got some things on the docket.
Yeah.
We got a couple of things we want to talk about.
It's been a pretty busy week for me. I've been like in the gym a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm a gym rat now.
You're a gym rat now.
I was like a video game guy for a second, like a gamer.
Yeah.
But now I'm a gym rat.
What, I don't even want to ask about the gym. What video games did you play?
I was playing Red Dead. You know, your classic
Okay.
GTA.
Yeah, you got a PlayStation?
It's Xbox.
Xbox.
I got a used Xbox from my buddy.
See, that's how little I know about video games.
I was pretty into it for a second, but I think, I don't know. It was winter. I think I just kind of like,
Yeah.
It was nice to have something like that after work.
Yeah.
And
Now you're trying to get that beach bod.
Now I'm getting swole, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. Not swollen with child, like swollen with muscles.
Yeah, swollen with muscles.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how you ran a half a mile on a treadmill, right?
Yeah, I did. Never would have thought it. I've never been
Yeah.
on a treadmill before. It was weird. Like after I did the half mile, I got
They're not
off.
fun.
I did the cool down or whatever.
Yeah.
I got off the treadmill and I just went to walk to the sanitation station. Should you like wipe your machine down?
Yeah.
And I felt like I was like still moving forward, like floating through space. You know what I mean? Because I was doing it for like 10 minutes. It took me 10 minutes to run a half a mile or something.
It's runner's high, man.
But it was like, I don't know, like, you know, when you're like, you're spinning around, you get that, like the world keeps spinning. It was like that, except the treadmill. Like I felt like I was floating, like hovering above the ground, like floating. It's hard to describe. It was pretty trippy. I'm sure it's like going to go away at some point.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was the best part of the running on the treadmill, was that floating sensation.
Yeah.
It lasted for about 20 seconds.
No, that's runner's high. Once you get some fitness going and you're able to run longer, if you like that feeling.
Oh, right.
I mean, you might even want to try and push yourself a little bit further next time.
Oh, I will, yeah.
See what you kind of get out of it.
I want to get up to a mile or whatever and see what kind of time I can do.
But yeah, man, I did some running this weekend.
Really?
Not intentionally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did some running.
Yeah, because I was in a bike race.
Right.
I was actually doing fairly well,
Uh-huh.
to my own surprise, because it was a pretty stacked field. There were some fast guys there. And then
You're ripping it.
And then, I was probably sitting in for maybe about a third or fourth place finish. And in the last mile of the race, my front tire goes flat.
Yikes.
And so I'm always prepared for flats, right?
Yeah.
So it's the last mile of the race. I'm thinking to myself, all I need is air in the tire
Right.
to get myself through the last mile. It'll probably hold air for the last mile and it'll be fine. So I just pulled to the side of the trail really quick. I aired up my tire. I jumped back on my bike. I made it about another half mile.
Yeah.
And then the tire went flat again. And now I have a tube in my back pocket that I could put in there. But now
How fast is? I mean, how long does that take to do?
it takes a while.
Yeah, you're not gonna. You're giving up your position at that point.
Yeah, exactly. But in retrospect, I might have done better if I'd have just replaced the tube in the first place.
Oh, right.
But that's neither here nor there. I did what I did. But at the last half mile, I have a tube with me, but then I don't have any air to put in the tube.
Right.
So I'm basically fucked. So I was like, well, I'm running. So
and you're running in a bike race.
Yeah. And the whole last half mile of the race, I was just running to the finish line.
You signed up for and started a bike race, and you ended up running.
Yeah, and I ended up running.
That's pretty wild.
And then I was really pissed about it.
Yeah.
Because, you run like a tenth of a mile, and you feel like you've been running for 10 years.
Yeah.
If you're not a runner,
Well, that's why you're riding a bike. You didn't enter a
Yeah.
running competition.
Yeah, man. Yep. But whatever. Whatever. It's an amateur bike race.
Yeah.
I had fun. That's all I can really expect.
I had a good time.
I had a good time, guys.
I had fun. I'm having fun.
But yeah, that's interesting. That's good. We both ran a half mile this weekend.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
I guess I planned mine, whereas yours was kind of impromptu. But
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe we should plan like a trail run together.
that would be cool. Get our popper packs on.
Yeah, get our popper packs on, go do a quick, 2-3 miles,
Yeah.
something like that. We'd be able to do that.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
I
see.
mean, trails make running more fun than just being on a treadmill, for
yeah.
sure.
You could kick a soccer ball down the trail,
Yeah.
make a game out of it.
Make a game out of it. Make some fun out of it.
Yeah, the gym is a wild place right now.
So, yeah,
Maybe it always is. I don't know.
What's gym culture like during COVID times?
Well, first of all, these people are ripped.
Yeah.
Like, they're stacked. Like
they won.
they've already won. I don't
They
even-
won
Why are
the
they
gym.
Why are they even there? Why
Yeah.
are you still here?
Why are you still at the gym?
You already have muscles. Like, that's the point of going to the gym, is to get them,
Yeah.
right? It's like going to a store for something you already have.
Yeah.
It's like, is there something wrong with your brain, or like, do you not understand how this works? But no, I like the first day that I actually went to work out. This is like just maybe an example of how spacey I am, but I had like these pants on that I'm wearing now, and I had gym shorts in my bag,
Yeah.
but I forgot. I forgot how this works because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like change, right, into your workout clothes, and
Yeah.
then like put your stuff somewhere. Well, I didn't. I guess I just forgot.
Yeah.
But then I got up to the weight machines and like sat down and started using them. And I looked around and realized that like I'm the only person still in like casual like jeans or whatever.
So was anybody staring at you? You get any gawkers?
I mean, I think they were probably checking me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh,
Who the hell is this guy?
He's a slim physique here. I don't
Yeah.
see that very often."
He must do a lot of cardio.
Yeah, he must be a runner. I did wear shorts for my run sesh though.
Okay, good.
I figured it out after the first time, but yeah, it was kind of, it's awkward right now because you have to wear the mask. Mm-hmm. Especially awkward running like with a mask on,
Yeah.
because you're kind of like out of breath or whatever.
Yeah.
But it actually isn't that bad. I've gotten kind of used to it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt good at the bike race because they had us wear our masks. Like when you go to get your number and you congregate at the start or finish line, you have to wear a mask.
Right.
But when you're actually doing the event, Like, all they make you do is wear your mask off the start line, and then once you're off the start line, you can take your mask off once you're on the course.
Oh, okay.
But everywhere else, masks were mandated.
Yeah.
Which I liked that system. But you just made me think of this because it was advantaged because we were outside. So we were only able to do that because we were outside. But when you're in a gym,
you
can't really allow that.
People are really making some grunt noises and huffing and puffing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like, I'm not used to that either. So it's kind of funny just to be like, I was doing some lat pull downs, trying to get these, these
get
muscles,
your shoulder muscles going.
These muscles popped out.
Yeah.
And people were just like, like, making all kinds of sounds. I was like, oh my heavens.
Funny, man. Now, Ezra's coming to join us.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, dude?
You got your dinosaur?
Wow.
You want to come talk about your dinosaur?
You want to talk about your dino?
Come here. Come on, let's tell the listeners about your dinosaur. This is our guest today.
Yeah.
Little Ezra Michael. Tell us about your dinosaur.
The dinosaur's doing the talking.
The dinosaur is going to do the talking. He's putting that up against the microphone.
Yeah.
He really wants to play with the mixing board. Yeah? No, you don't need to take the mixing board. We're going to interview him for a second. I'll bring him back in. There you go. There you go. So tell us about your dinosaur, man. Yeah? It's what color is your dinosaur?
Black.
Yeah, that part is black, but what's the other part of your dinosaur colored like?
Green.
It's green.
Green, okay.
You're right. Good job. Good job. Okay, so what does the dinosaur do with his feet? Well, what does he do with them?
Don't.
He stomps. You're right. Good job.
Okay.
Don't it.
Yeah. Okay, and what color is that button?
Green.
Okay, and what
That's
color is that
green.
button?
Black.
No. What color is that button?
Red.
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 You're right. Good job, buddy.
Okay.
Yep, and that was our youngest guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, and he turned off my microphone. Okay,
There you
Ezra,
go.
let's go back inside. Let's get mommy.
No.
All right. Okay.
Well, that was a fun surprise guest.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fun surprise guest. He really didn't want to get off the microphone, though.
I wanted to hear more from the dinosaur. Honestly.
Yeah, I wanted a little bit more from the dinosaur. Maybe next episode.
Yeah. Dino's a little shy his first time.
We'll get Ezra back on with the dino,
Yeah.
so the dino has some moral support
Yeah. Give him some time to think
from
about
his baby friend or whatever.
Yeah. Or whatever.
But anyway, so we talked about the gym
Yeah.
a little bit. Let's
Pretty fun.
go on a run soon. We'll podcast about that.
Okay.
Let's keep that in mind.
Let's pod about it. Pod while we're running.
But yes, the other thing that we wanted to talk about was I think it was your coworker said something interesting to you the other day.
Yeah. The kitchen biz is kind of like gets real,
Yeah.
Gets real sometimes. And I don't know, we got some philosophers among us,
Yeah.
in the kitchen. But one of my cooks has said before, and I heard him say it again, just kind of like in a jest way, but it was kind of like you could tell he kind of maybe seriously believed it too. Was he said in passing, pain is the only thing that's real. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
sure he kind of was saying that to relieve some tension or to be kind of funny, but also like, oh, pain the only thing that's real? Like, is it?
So
Had me thinking a little bit.
So does he mean? I mean, I guess I'm confused a little bit by what he means by that, because does he mean that pain is the only thing that allows you to experience joy? Or does he mean that pain is the only thing that exists? Like life is pain.
Right. I think it may be the latter. I think yeah, like everything else is fleeting, but
Yeah.
pain remains, like that you can't escape it. It's like the one thing that that you can count on, I guess, in life.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the crazy part. That's like the kind of like conundrum of existentialist theory a little bit, right? Because life is what you make of it.
I thought you were going to say suffering.
Well, if you make suffering out of it, then your life is suffering.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could. My favorite part about existentialist theory is you could be sitting in a corner that's dark and damp and dingy and it's nihilistic, and you could be crying to yourself and thinking nothing actually matters. Nothing actually matters. Or you could be running through a field of frickin' tulips with the sun shining in your face going, nothing actually matters.
Right.
So if pain is the only thing that's real, why am I able to run through a field of tulips and go, nothing matters?
Right.
But I was never a Sartre guy, you know?
Maybe that's why I feel like I can identify with him, because I was a Sartre guy before I even knew who Sartre was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you had some poetry from a website that you made years ago. You read me one earlier. We should read one of those for the listener. That was
I found some old poetry.
Sartre before you knew you were Sartre.
Yeah, I was probably like 15 or 16 when I wrote these, and I put them up on Fortune Cities or GeoCities, one of those like free sites.
Yeah.
But as you can see, I made an animated GIF here. Before, I mean, I don't know if the kids listening now even know that was a thing in like 1997.
Yeah. You could make your own code. You used to be able to do it on MySpace too.
Yeah,
all the way through the early 2000s.
I used a paint program. I think it was Paint Shop Pro to make all this stuff. Like
really?
this thing here, this header.
What's the URL?
Well, it's just on the backup drive. It's not still online.
Gotcha.
Fortune Cities is gone, and I never really wanted to put this on my website when I had one, because it's like high school. It's kind of like cringe poetry, but I do want to share it with the entire world.
Yeah, exactly.
Here on a podcast.
With our one listener in France.
Let's see. I don't know. Which one should I read here? This one's pretty dark. Let's see here. This is called As I Know It. Maybe I'm not sure of just who I am. I try to love the world for what I know, not what it is. But I'm not too sure what I know. I am someone who feels, someone who fears. I am someone who steals, someone who steers toward the oncoming car, hoping that maybe if I die, maybe the world will be the way I know it and not as it is.
Wow.
That's Conan.
That's dark.
That one is darker than I had realized. That one's kind of like.
How old were you when you wrote that?
I was probably 16 when I wrote that one.
Okay.
Yeah, checking on the date there.
Yeah.
But that one's kind of like I'm saying that the world that I'm living in is not the one that I feel.
Yeah.
I guess, which maybe goes along with that, like that feeling of darkness and maybe being unable to resonate with the happy stuff.
Is anybody living in the world that they feel they should be living in, though?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's like a head game I was playing with myself. And maybe that's part of what existentialism too is.
Yeah.
Being like getting caught up in thinking more than like experiencing and actually living.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could always just be like Sartre too. You could just sit in your window, stare at all the people that are just living their lives and being normal, and just call them all a bunch of idiots and screw you for living your life because I'm smarter than you, kind of thing.
I think there's a little bit of like ego or pride in that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like when I read Sartre and he was talking about looking out his apartment in Nausea, his book, and like just kind of judging everybody on the street, but also just seeing like, I guess from his perspective, he was like seeing how pointless and mundane everything was that people were doing, like the day-to-day stuff in life, whether it's like interpersonal or going to the grocery store or like
Yeah.
eating even. It's just like, what's the point? Like he was just like, what's the point of any of that?
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of that's how I felt too when I like wrote all this stuff.
Yeah.
It was like another one I had.
And I guess a lot of existentialists are going to be like, what's the point of this? What's the fucking point of doing anything? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's taking
I'm going to do it anyway.
the absurd.
I'm going to drop $1,000 on some podcast equipment with my buddy. We're going to talk about bullshit.
Who cares?
We're not going to talk about fucking anything.
Anything.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Here's one. This one is kind of about the philosopher perspective here. I hate where I am. I hate where I go. I hate all the kids who play in the snow. I hate all the people who don't even care. I hate all the girls who play with their hair. No one thinks about what I hold dear. No one asks, so why are we here? Are we content with living and dying? Don't they ever tire of all of their crying? Maybe we'll die without finding out, never even know how we came about. Though I hope sometime someone will know how we came to be. So that actually points to like a deeper thing where it's like, why are we here? Is
Yeah.
kind of what it starts with. But then like how we came to be is another.
Yeah.
I'm like, so my darkness in this one was existential in the sense that like,
Yeah.
I think life is pointless and meaningless.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious, like, why it's pointless and meaningless. Or why what are we doing here, I guess?
Yeah. But I mean, is it pointless and meaningless?
Is it?
How would you know? I mean, how would I know?
Yeah.
How would anybody else know? You know, like,
well, it's based on observation, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of where this was coming from, was from observing people in my high school. It was just like, everybody's stupid here.
Yeah.
And kind of like sharing that, what was that? That journal entry where I wrote about my prediction with women going to war with men is like maybe observing my parents. This one maybe too is just me observing my high school and extrapolating that and projecting it onto the entire world.
Yeah.
And being like, if everybody else is like these people,
Yeah.
this is not a good situation.
My world perspective when I was 16, 17 was not much different, for sure.
That's high school, right? That's what you do.
But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like at this point in my life, I realize like, I think everybody asks themselves that question eventually. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you've read or what drugs you've done or who you are. You're eventually going to ask yourself, does my life have meaning?
Right.
And you're going to ask yourself that question on a deeper level than, you know, is the job I have what I'm supposed to be doing, or does my family love me? Because I think everybody asks themselves on that, like, does humanity make any sense?
Right.
And I think the only practical answer that anybody can come up with is it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't see anybody who could come up with another one. I guess if you had like a religious kind of doctrine that you were following, then you might have a different perspective. Like,
no, I mean we
don't understand, but God knows. You know, God has a plan.
Yeah.
God's plan. You know?
No, I mean you look at a maggot coming out of like a rotting piece of fruit. We're basically the same thing.
Right.
You know, we are a parasite that destroys the planet that we live on. That's the only way we really know how to exist.
Right.
And that's just who we are. Like, most of us don't have any control over that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So therein lies my own theory of nothing matters.
Right.
Let's have a great time. Like, let's not try to destroy things further.
Yeah.
But we might as well enjoy the life that we have. But I mean, I used to be the opposite of that. So
Right.
But like, okay, so your coworker who said this, pain is the only thing that exists. How old was this guy?
Pain is the only thing that's real.
Pain is the only thing
Is
that's
what he
real.
said. I don't
That's
know
right.
if there's a difference there, but yeah. I think he's like 25-ish.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Okay. So you want to be on a podcast, or?
I think he would be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk to somebody that's younger than us.
Yeah. We need to get him in here and just grill him on this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Why did you say that? Fuck! What do you mean? God damn it!
It doesn't make sense to me.
I would be curious though to see like
Yeah.
see what would come out of that if we were to ask him like what
Yeah.
what do you mean by that, and
Yeah, man.
is it a joke? He'd be like, it's just a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't mean it.
Well, I mean, I hope he wouldn't say that. That'd be a pretty lame podcast.
That's the end of it.
Like, so we heard that you said this. Oh, well, I didn't mean it. So can't ask me any more questions about it.
That's how he talks. I didn't mean it.
I was thinking to myself, oh, I didn't mean that.
I was thinking, pain's the only thing that's real.
Pain's the only thing that's real.
I think pain's the only thing. Yeah.
I'm not going to answer any questions because I didn't mean it.
You sound exactly like him.
Is that how he talks?
Yeah, you never met him.
Is that how he comes into work each day? He goes, hey, Lamar, what's going on? You gonna hang out?
Pain's the only thing that's real.
You gonna hang out at my place after work, watch some movies? We've talked about that before. Oh, when anybody imitates somebody else, it's pretty much always that voice.
I don't know.
And I was talking to this one guy, and he was like, well, I don't know. Like, that, literally everybody does that. Maybe not quite as drastic as I did it just right there, but
Yeah.
But if somebody's telling you a story and they're quoting somebody else, they pretty much go into that tone of voice.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just do it this way?
Why don't you just do it this way? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it this way. And I was like, why not?
It's not only the voice that they use in this physical world, but also the thoughts in their head.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking to myself, why don't you just just get in the left lane. Oh, I'll just drive over here. Oh. I'll just pass this guy. Oh.
Well, I opened the cupboard the other day, and I thought to myself, I just ran out of oatmeal. Better go to the store.
Well, I've already had one chocolate bar. Maybe I'll have another one. I don't know. I'm not that fat.
Maybe I'll order Chinese food tonight.
I am a Libra.
The other day, I was driving down the street, and this cop pulled me over, and I thought to myself, why is this cop pulling me over?
The cop was like, show me your license and registration, sir. I was like, I don't have it.
The cop was like, well, you know when I pulled you over? And I said, well, I am a Libra, so... Well, yeah, I mean...
That is a universal thing. But yeah, we should get this guy on here.
Yeah, we should talk to him.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we should talk to him.
I want to figure out what...
You think he'd be down to come and sit down with us, have a little chat?
Yeah, I mean, he
Okay.
lives in the neighborhood. He's in the hood.
He's in the hood, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll chat with him soon. But who knows?
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Talk about it. We'll figure it out.
But yeah, I think your what you were saying about like everybody comes to this conclusion that like life is absurd.
Yeah.
That maybe meaning is actually like something we create,
Yeah.
right? We make our own meaning for life. So then at that point you come to the point where you're like, so it's actually your choice to like take the absurdity and make it either a good thing,
Yeah.
or like be like, you know, like be crushed by it and be like kind of victimized by it.
Yeah.
That's like my experience too, and like probably a lot of people who do psychedelics will kind of like enter this period when the drug actually like hits them,
Yeah.
that they just start like laughing hysterically because
Yeah.
everything is very clearly absurd in that moment.
Yeah,
Not just
exactly.
because of the visuals and all that stuff. It's just like that realization becomes so crystal clear that you're just like,
Yeah.
this is totally absurd. Everything that's happening around me is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everybody's just pretending like it's normal.
Yeah.
You look around at people who aren't on this drug, like a psychedelic, and they're just like, no, this is what we do. I'm just gonna go to my car, go to work. And you're like, what? What are
Yeah.
you doing? You're insane. Everybody's crazy,
Yeah.
you know, to do that. But it's like, I guess that is kind of a shocking thing when you're like programmed or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you also think that it's normal, the things that we're doing,
Yeah.
then when you become, you know, you have like this break where you're like, whoa, like this is all insane.
Yeah.
Then you kind of have this your whole belief system kind of gets shaken up. You're like, what do I believe in now that I can't just go back to that normalcy? I can't just be like, well, I'm just gonna go feed my cat. I'll go to my job. I'll go take a nap. Go to sleep. Got to pay my bills. Whatever.
I mean,
like, you have to do both, I guess. You have to then pretend to go back to normal, but also know this thing that you're living in a totally absurd situation.
Well, and you know what? It's crazy too, because I've even talked to people that like have never done a drug in their life. Mm-hmm. You know, I've talked to them about just existentialism theory and all that kind of stuff, just because I'm interested.
Yeah.
In what their perspective of it might be, just from never having done psychedelic drugs.
Right.
And a lot of those people that I've talked to have had the same exact thoughts prompted to them just by like a dream that they had.
Oh, really?
You know?
Huh.
Like, I feel like existentialist theory and the bigger questions like, why do I exist? Why do I live in this world? Why was this world created around me? I don't doubt for a single second that literally every single person you've ever met in your entire life asked themselves that question at some point or another. You know, it all depends on how much mind you pay to it or not, you know?
Right.
Because the people that don't pay it much mind, I'll be honest with you, they have a much easier life.
Yeah.
They get through life in a way easier way.
Right.
Because they're not sitting there and questioning it all the time.
Yeah.
But for me, maybe I just did too many drugs when I was young. But it comes up all the time, you know? I always think about it. But I don't think it's a bad thing to constantly think about. You know?
I think it's kind of like when you get lost in thought, it can always become a paralyzing thing.
Yeah.
To reach that point where you're just like, whoa, like now I've seen the light or whatever. I've seen
the light or whatever.
I saw the light. And then I saw the light. But you get to that point where you see it, and then you feel like you kind of have to like acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have to find a way to integrate that experience. And I think it's easy for people to like just separate drug experiences or even spiritual experiences that are not drug induced.
Yeah.
To like separate them and be like, well, that was just, that's not part of my normal life, my everyday life. That's like when I go to church or whatever, that's my spiritual thing. And it's like separate than my normal life.
Yeah.
But to be able to integrate the two is like, I think would be the ultimate goal, because like you're saying, people who don't think about this stuff, maybe they still suffer, in the same way, like obviously with pain and stuff, but they don't suffer psychically.
Yeah.
Because they're not grappling with these thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's like people who are depressed are constantly having these recurring thought patterns that they get stuck in all the time. And it's just like, it's like a prison,
Yeah. Yeah.
So to get out of that, like psychedelics or meditation or whatever, it might not necessarily be the answer. It might just amplify that and make you feel even more insane.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
And how you handle it, I guess.
It depends on what your upbringing is and what your predispositioned for,
Right.
But I mean, I personally, I love asking myself that question. I ask myself that question every single day.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I exist? And my answer 100% of the time is, well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why I exist.
Like, I don't know.
That's a complete insignificant question to even try and answer.
Yeah, it's like the question itself is is flawed.
But for me, it's all about finding the beauty in that.
Yeah,
because that's a beautiful thing.
It is kind of nice to not actually have an answer.
Exactly. It's like the old Chinese proverb, like what life is a joke that has just begun. That's what I live by.
That's a good one.
Have fun. Live your life. Be a happy person.
Yeah.
Like, try to stop worrying about what other people think about you, but everybody's going to do that.
I guess that's really hard in high school, like when I was in this writing period, because it's just like,
oh no, man, I did the same thing in high school.
You're hyper self-conscious and everybody sucks. So it's just like, you care what other people think, even though you don't like those people, you hate them. It's a really awkward position to be in, because you're just like, I care so much, but I hate you so much.
Yeah.
That's a lot to balance.
I hate you so much, but I care so much about what you think of me.
It's a very twisted, like, on itself kind of logic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I ask myself that question all the time, like multiple times a day too. Just like, what am I doing here? Mm-hmm. What is everybody else doing here?
Yeah.
And what is the point of this?
Yeah.
You know, that's something I wake up to basically. But I also sometimes like longingly look at people or animals, you know, who don't seem to be struggling with that question.
Yeah.
And I kind of covet that life a little bit where I'm just like, man, it would be nice to just not even think about this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it feels like it's not necessarily a productive thing.
Yeah.
It can be great for a lot of purposes, for music and stuff.
Is it ever really a productive thing though?
I don't know. Is it?
I mean,
I think it's good to be inquisitive. I guess it's for that reason it's good.
It's definitely good to be inquisitive. But I don't think it's ever productive, or quotes, productive, to question why you're here.
Yeah.
But there again,
as long as you're seeking an answer, it's probably not productive because you're not going to find one.
Yeah, and to get even more existential about it, like being productive is relative to the humanity that you live in. You know? Like it's being productive, like let's say like you work as a dishwasher, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to work and wash dishes, you're being productive for that restaurant.
Yeah.
But then you look at it in the greater light, what does that restaurant do for humanity? Well, it feeds a few people in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And what does that food do for those few people in this neighborhood? Well,
give them the farts. I'll tell you that much right now. We got some honks in there.
Give them the farts.
Yeah.
But like when it's that food that they consume, is that fuel that they use to better humanity?
Right.
Damn near 100% of the time, the answer is going to be no.
Well, I mean, it sustains their life or whatever.
It sustains their life, but how much significance does their life have to the rest of us?
Yeah.
You know?
Is there a way of knowing that?
There is no way to measure that.
Yeah.
So the only answer and the only conclusion you can come to is it's insignificant.
Yeah.
Like really what it needs to come back to is looking back at yourself and saying, well, I do this because I need money to live.
Yeah.
And nothing really matters anyway. So I'll just do this so I can make money to live. And the rest of the time, I'm going to do what I want and do what I think is useful.
Yeah.
You know?
I live to work.
Yeah.
I mean, work to live.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, for many, many years, I went the nihilistic way with it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just getting a job because why? Just why? Why would I need to do this? You know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
That's like, there's like a whole image with that too. Like the service industry people that have that attitude where it's like, another day, another dollar.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
fucking hate that
you're
statement, man.
You're always smoking cigarettes and just like, yep, another day. Like,
Jesus. Anytime I see that on the...
It's like a club kind of...
Obviously, I work from home. Every time I see that on the company chat, working harder, hardly work, another day, another dollar, I just want to say, shut the fuck up, man.
I hate Mondays, man.
Yeah. Just shut the fuck up. Like, you're not helping anybody by saying shit like that.
Yeah, it's not a productive way to think,
like,
I guess.
Yeah. No, it's not doing anything good. Like,
it's not inspiring.
No, man, when I used to work in the office, I used to call the break room the complaint department because every single time I sat down in there, it's just people whining about the jobs that they do.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then fucking leave. Quit. Go work somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Right.
Or at least go search for another job. Like, Jesus Christ, don't just sit here and bitch about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a hypocrite, man. I'm a hypocrite. I've done the same exact thing. So
yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully we're evolving or whatever, or maybe learning.
But most people don't really have the mental fortitude to be like, oh, well, this is actually causing me a lot of pain and sorrow. I need to get out of here, you know?
Yeah.
They just think, well, this is where my paycheck comes from, so I have to go here.
Yeah, I think what you were saying also, like when you discover that like whatever it is you're doing, unless you're like actively saving people or whatever, if you're like a ER surgeon or something like that, or a nurse or something.
Yeah.
If you have a regular job and you're doing something that's not directly like maybe making a huge difference in any way, that's a huge blow to the ego.
Yeah.
You know, the part of the self that's like wants to be important, that thinks it's going to like change the whole world. And like,
yeah,
you know, when you're in high school, and we talked about this before, when you're specifically a white man,
yeah,
there seems to be an even more active ego there that's just like, oh, I'm better, you know, I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be something someday, you just wait and see. And like that always comes out, and then you see drunk white dudes at bars, and they're just like the worst, you know?
Yeah.
So like getting all like puffed up and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You say something disrespectful, man?
Say something disrespectful about my mom?
You know who I am, man? So I'm somebody, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm somebody important, bro.
I'm a white male in the United States, bro.
I've got 2 bank accounts, bro. I've got a credit card. I've got a credit union account and a credit card, bro.
I've got a 401k and I got health insurance, motherfucker.
You know who my dad is?
It just never
He's
ends.
got a 401k too, bitch.
It's just like, whoa. So that's a
whoa,
excuse me. Like that's something that I think we're dealing with too, is this huge force, that the ego, you know?
Yeah.
And that ego doesn't want to hear that it's insignificant, and that that doesn't really mean anything.
Well, yeah, and
the
I feel
world
like
doesn't need it. It's like, it needs to be needed, and it needs to be like important, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think women have egos, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't know anything about female egos, you know?
Anybody does.
Yeah, I mean, if we had a female guest, they'd probably be able to shed some light on this for us. But I can definitely tell you, from a male's perspective, that white males struggle with their ego.
Yeah.
A lot, you know? Like, I struggle with it daily. I try to, like, calm it down. I try to silence it, you know? But
you can't really
yeah.
use force, though. It's kind of like you have to like do a ninja move on it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and like the male ego is something that's going to give you a very difficult time with trying to, you know, just kind of cope with existentialist thought, trying to cope with your own insignificance, you know, because that ego is going to tell you that you mean something. And when you feel like you mean something, and then you look at an existentialist theory and they say you mean nothing,
yeah,
you're going to do one or two things. You're going to go, no, fuck you, dude.
You don't know me,
I mean
man.
something. You don't know me.
You don't know me like that, man.
Yeah. Or you're just going to roll over and you're going to be submissive, and you're like, what is this even for?
Yeah.
I can't even acknowledge this ego anymore. You know?
Right.
I feel like I think every male needs that breakdown now. Every male needs that existential beat down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting though.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so I think we got pretty deep on that.
Yeah. Okay.
End it with some fear.
All right, we're back.
All right, so Lamar,
Uh-huh.
you were in the park the other day.
Sure enough.
What park?
I was in Washington Park, which is part of Forest Park.
Oh, that's the south end of Forest Park,
Yeah, it's by the Rose Garden.
like
and stuff.
kind of by downtown.
Yeah.
Was it crowded?
It wasn't that crowded. There was
Yeah.
actually a group of like, I don't know, mid 40s people doing some kind of, maybe they were like 50s.
40 mid 40s people?
Mid 40. There was about, probably about 30, 40s.
About 30 or 40 mid 40s.
30, mid 40.
About 40 or 50 40 mid 40s.
Drinking 40s.
Were they drinking 40s?
I don't think they were, but it would have been a lot cooler if they were.
40, mid 40s, drinking 40s.
But they were doing like, they were playing like.
Did they have shorties?
Some of them had shorties.
They had, some of them have shorties.
Yeah.
Or do they have shouties? No, they're too old
They're
for
too
that.
old for that. Yeah.
But,
but yeah, I was just catching some sun or whatever and reading a little bit. And I was just I like to go there because it's like, there's stuff going on around. I feel like I'm kind of part of society there.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like by myself and just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of like.
Feels good to be like, just be around other people.
It's like, I feel like I'm going to the mall or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm without buying stuff.
Yeah.
And I can like read about existentialism or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, well, I'm just going to sit here and read about it. But I was sitting there and then I heard like some girl with kind of a nasally voice talking to some other girl that I like,
do you think that's the only reason you heard her talk?
I'm pretty sure
because of the nasally
caught
voice?
my ear. Yeah. And she was, I was listening to the conversation from kind of a distance.
Yeah.
Because that's fun to do too, just eavesdrop on people. Because then I feel like I'm also part of like a community, but I don't have to talk to anybody, But she was like talking to somebody that she just met. She's like, oh my God, I'm from California too. Oh, what part? And then I couldn't hear the other girl because she was like, her back was to me.
Yeah,
and they were probably like, 20 yards away or something.
Yeah.
But I could hear her voice really well. She was like, oh, it's kind of like, where Bakersville is? It's kind of like near there. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And then I heard like, the other girl must have asked her what she does for work because she was like, well, I kind of do like, she's like, I kind of take businesses that are like brick and mortar and I like put them online. It's kind of like what I do. And she said some technical terms for what she was doing. But I thought it was pretty funny that she basically takes stores that sell stuff and gets them online.
She gets them online.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, how do you do that?
So she takes brick and morty shops.
Brick and morty.
Brick and morties.
To online.
And puts them online.
Yeah. Which I thought was like, wow. My first thought was actually existential. I was like, if that was my job, I would hate myself. This was the very first thing I thought after she said that. I was like, that sounds awful. It sounds awful, but maybe not. Maybe that's...
I mean, if you know somebody that's run a brick and morty.
Yeah, I mean, I work at a brick and morty.
And you work at a brick and morty.
Yeah.
Are they trying to get online?
I don't think they have online.
You don't think they have online?
I think we're just brick and morty. Yeah.
So when you go to work,
right?
Does your cell phone hook up to online?
Well, I do have online at work.
You have online at work.
So maybe they do have online.
So they're a brick and morty that has online, but they're not online?
They're not online.
They're not online.
Right. But I guess they do have it, yeah.
So I guess the major question here is, let's just say that I have a brick and morty.
Okay.
And I want to be online. Mm-hmm. What do I do? How do I put my brick and morty online?
How do you get online if you don't have online?
Do you?
Do you need online to get...
Do you need online?
Do I need online?
Do you need online?
I have online.
Do I need it?
It sounds like your brick and morty needs it.
Does my brick and morty need online even if I'm not online?
My question is, do you need online to get online? Like, do you need to have it to get it?
I don't think you need to have it to get it. Because if you don't have online, you can go somewhere that has online, like your work. They have online, but they're not online.
But how would they get online?
But I can not be online, and I can go to a place like your work to have a dinner, and I can be online while I'm there.
You can be online all night there. People do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have to keep ordering food or drinks to continue to use online?
We don't have a policy. You can use online as much as you want.
So I could go there, order nothing, and be online?
You can have it. Yeah.
So if I'm not online, like if I run a brick and morty,
yeah,
and my brick and morty doesn't have online,
right,
I could go to your brick and morty, and use your online,
absolutely, yeah,
to put my brick and morty online.
That's the part I'm fuzzy on. You do need online to get online,
yeah,
which seems like a circle. Like, how do you get out of that? If you
How do
don't
you
have it,
Yeah.
how do you get it?
What if you're online? What if you're online and you don't want to be online?
How do you get off?
How do you get offline?
Once you're on, how do you get off? Do you ever get off?
Do you ever get off?
I'm not off. I'm on right now.
I'm not off. I'm online now.
I can't even tell.
This
Looking
whole
at
thing
you.
is online.
Yeah, I can't even tell.
Yeah.
I don't even feel it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's call this podcast a brick and morty.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a garage studio. A studio garage.
And it's pretty young. It's a pretty young brick and morty that we're running right now.
We're young,
We're young. For the most part.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Relative.
Young.
It's relative. So.
It's all relative.
Yeah, so
'Cause
what?
nothing really matters anyway.
Yeah.
So we're kind of online.
I mean, when people hear this, they have to be online, right?
Yeah, exactly. But how do we get online?
We're not online right now,
We're not online.
but I have online.
Are we going to post it online?
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
These are questions I should have asked this girl.
So, like, what if you get online and nobody knows that you're online? Are you still online?
If nobody knows, it's like if a tree falls in the forest.
Yeah, and no one's around to hear it. So, like, if you post something online and nobody sees it,
Is it
online?
is it even online?
Is it online? I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
How do you get off?
How do you get offline?
How do you get off online?
How do you get off online? And if you're offline and you refuse to be online, is anybody gonna know that you're offline?
Can you, as a brick and morty, have online, be online, but personally be offline?
I think that's possible.
Like you could run the business online.
I think it's possible. Like, you can be a brick and morty and you could be online,
Yeah.
but you, your personal self, could be offline.
Inside the online.
Inside the online. So, like, this like little segment of yourself, this little
Kind of sideline it.
quarter sect, the
Yeah.
sideline
Online side.
is online.
Okay.
But you, yourself, and your soul and your being is right here, right now.
Offline, self-line, inline.
I want to be an offline, self-line, inline kind of guy.
Inline, offline.
I want to be inline, I want to be offline, but I also want to be online.
I don't like being inline, but I'm online when I'm inline.
I'm never inline, but I am online.
Oh.
Yeah. But not everything about me is online.
Right.
There's a lot of things about me that are offline.
Most of what is makes you is offline.
Most of what makes me is offline. I could put it online if I want,
Yeah.
but I don't.
But you don't do it.
I don't do it. So I'm an offline, online, offline, half-line, quarter-line kind of guy.
Would you sideline that part of yourself that's not online, or how do you manage that?
So when I'm out during the day and I'm offline, I sideline the online.
So you're not inline when you do that?
So the online stays online, the offline stays online, the offline stays in the real world, and the inline stays online.
Okay.
But when I go to work, the inline stays in line, and I'm not online.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So if your offline goes online, how do you get back inline or offline if you wanted to get off?
So if my offline goes online,
Yeah.
then immediately my inline doesn't exist
Oh, okay.
because there's too many lines.
Yeah.
My inline ceases to exist.
That's how that works.
But like then when you go back to work the next day and you clock in, your inline is inline and your inline is online.
If you're on time.
If you're on time,
Yeah.
your inline is online, your offline doesn't exist because your inline is inline and your inline is online.
Yeah.
You got too many lines. You can't have your offline when you're inline and online.
If you get too many going at once, it creates a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, no,
you
it
know?
creates a lot of confusion in certain parts of the inline, offline, inline kind of conundrum.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
I see a lot of customers at work that are eating and they're online,
Yeah,
but they're also inline in like a lot of different lines.
yeah.
You know,
I don't understand how anybody does that.
it looks super complicated to me.
So how could you possibly be inline, offline, online,
Yeah.
and eating at something at the same time?
Well, when they're in line, they're offline.
So when they're in line, they're offline,
They have to be offline to be in line.
but when they're online, they're in line and online?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And not always, but usually they're in line while they're
Interesting.
online. Yeah.
I guess it's just been so long since I went to a restaurant and did something like
Times
that.
have changed a bit. Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
I kind of am tempted just to not have online at all because it seems like once you get on, it's hard to get off.
Yeah.
It seems like people get kind of stuck into it.
Do you think a lot of people stopped being online because of a global pandemic? So like the online made them be more in line because there was a global pandemic which forced them to be offline?
I would have thought that, but it seems like more people than ever are online now.
I feel like more people than ever are online and in line
Yeah.
because the global pandemic is trying to force everybody offline.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it seems like it'd just be easier to be offline
Yeah.
because then you don't have to deal with the inline, online, sideline, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You'd be on time offline.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to sideline my offline when I'm trying to be online, but my online gets in line when I'm in a restaurant and I'm offline.
Oh, it's more. There's nothing more frustrating than that.
There's nothing more frustrating because it's all happening at the same time.
Yeah, you're in line online, but you're offline.
So my inline is online, but my offline is in line. My online is on time, but I'm not.
Yeah. And then what are you supposed to do?
No, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
If I'm not on time, but my online is on time,
Yeah.
and my online's just trying to be offline, and I'm trying to be offline, but my online's forcing me online, but I'm not in time.
Oh. I almost had it.
Almost.
It felt like a sneeze. I tried to like.
We almost made it.
You know what's disturbing is that after doing that for a while, you actually start to like
You actually start to make sense
of it. It's like, wait a minute, this is total meaningless.
Because nothing matters.
Nothing
man.
matters anyways, man.
Welcome to the Two Honks Podcast, the best existentialist podcast on the internet.
Stand by that. Best online, offline, inline.
We're the best offline, online, inline.
Existentialist podcast.
We're like 1/3 of our time is offline, but we're still online.
We're always online.
We're online, but we're not in line. I'll just put it that way for you.
Yeah. How about that?
But yeah, we still got to get this Brick and Morty online.
Yeah, we didn't really figure out how to do that.
Because I mean, we are online.
We don't
We're
have
not
it.
really online.
Yeah.
How do we get online?
I don't know.
I feel like we need some younger people to help us with this.
Yeah.
How do you use online?
How do you get it?
How do you get it?
Get it.
I don't got it.
I don't got it.
I don't got it.
I don't got it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to do. But
I
yeah,
don't know.
So to the listeners right now, I guess we're gonna ask for your help.
How do we get online
How do we get this Brick and Morty online?
if we don't have online? And then how do you get off?
And then how do you get offline once you're online?
Because we don't want to be on all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I see plenty of people that are online all the time. I don't want to be one of those people.
Yeah. twohonkspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Drop us a line.
Drop us a line. Let us know how to be online but offline,
Yeah.
and in time but on time.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Well, I feel like we got everything we needed to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything, Lamar?
We covered some territory there. Did I have anything else? I don't know. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Well, that was delayed by quite a bit there.
Yeah.
I did make a note that, and this is like totally unrelated to anything we talked about today, but last episode we talked about my dream with David Hasselhoff. And
Yes.
it just occurred to me.
We didn't talk about Hoff.
We haven't talked about the Hoff yet.
Gosh.
Just occurred to me, like I was at home. This was just a few days after that last podcast. And it just popped into my head because I just took this trip back home and saw all my childhood stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't find this, but I remembered that my first stuffed animal ever was a teddy bear. And I must have been, I don't know, 5 years old.
Yeah.
This is before Baywatch was a show.
Yeah.
Okay. This would have been like in the 80s, like mid 80s. I named that stuffed animal Mitch. Okay. As in Mitch Buchanan, lifeguard
Buchanan?
on duty.
Lifeguard on duty?
Yeah.
The Hoff?
I named him after Mitch Buchanan before Mitch Buchanan was even a character played by David Hasselhoff.
Whoa.
So that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I was like, whoa. And also, Mitch is not a very common name.
Yeah.
So
I mean, do you know a Mitch? I don't.
only my teddy bear and that
Yeah.
teddy bear name is David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of like, whoa.
Well, yeah. I mean, we should probably talk about that more next episode.
I mean, maybe I was seeing the future.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm a soothsayer as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I was predicting that.
I think
So-
you probably are.
Let's get the Hoff on here.
Get the Hoff.
I think we have to now.
Next episode, we're getting the Hoff.
We'll get the Hoff on next episode or get Dylan on first and then do Hoff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Dylan, then Hoff,
We could do a combo.
and then we'll talk to God.
Then we'll get God on here.
Yeah, we'll talk to God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we end it with a yurt?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah.